Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we will be discussing about Windows deployment service. Before it was known as a remote installation service, which was introduced in 2003 and 2008 also it was there, and after 2008 2012, from 2012 onwards it's known as Windows deployment service. So the basic requirement is we need a computer with DHCP installed and configured, and we need a WDS role installed server and a client machine with Pxe Boot enabled, and image for Windows 10, Windows 8, Windows 7, which operating system we need to install. We need a boot image for that, and the installation media also. So this is our lab environment. We have a Windows 2019 server with a domain controller role installed with an IP address of 10.10.10.2 and another system named WDS-server which has IP address of 10.10.10.3 and a client machine with Pxe Boot enabled. So for configuring WDS, first we need to configure the DHCP server for the Pxe Boot. So this is our DHCP server. For enabling the Pxe Boot, you need to configure scope options in the DHCP server. So for configuring that, we need to go to the DHCP console, and you can see the scope here. This is the scope I configured. So here you need to select scope options. Right click on this, click configure options. Here we need to change two settings. One is boot server host name and boot file name. So here you can see boot server host name. So select this option, and we need to type the WDS server name as the string value here. So I have my server name is wds-server.techlab.com. Click apply, and you need to type the boot file name here. So for 64-bit /boot/64 wdsnbp.com. So this entry I will put in the description bar. You can copy and paste it while you are configuring. Click OK. So this is our WDS server. We need to install the service for a WDS installation. So we need to go to Start, Server Manager, click on Manage, add roles and features, select the server. Here you can see Windows deployment services. Select that option, add features, click next again, and click install. So the installation successfully completed. Close on this wizard and click close again. Then we need to go to Start, Administrative Tools again, and you can see here Windows deployment services. Open this. You can see the server here. So it's showing Windows deployment service is not configured. So right click on this, click on configure server, then click next. Here I haven't added this system to the domain, so I selected standalone server and click next. And it is asking to enter the path for the remote installation folder. Just select by default. If it is in live environment, you can choose the D or E drive, depends upon your OS operating system image. Click next. So click yes. Here you can select do not respond to any client computers, respond only to non-client computers, respond to all client computers, known and unknown. I'm selecting this option. For live environment, you can just select respond only to non-client computers. Click next. It is asking to add images to the server now. We are not adding right now. We will click finish and then add. Finish. So the server is configured. There is an option to install images and boot images. So you need to insert the media for the installation. I'm just putting media for Windows 10 64-bit operating system. So the media is here. So we need to configure the install image and boot images. So I'm selecting boot image, add a boot image. It will be in the sources folder boot.wim. So browse, select the drive. Here you can see sources boot.wim. Open that. Next. So image name you can select Win 10 64-bit. So the boot image added. Finish. So next we need to add install images. So we need to right click on this install images, add install image, type Windows 10 64-bit, click next, click browse. So you need to select the sources and here you need to select install.wim, click next. So there is lot of Windows version showing. So we need to select which version we need. I'm selecting only the Pro. Windows 10 Pro. You can select all, but it will take some time to add this image. So I'm just selecting Windows 10 Pro. Click next. Again click next. So it's adding the image. So the image install image has been added successfully. Click finish on this. So we need to right click on this and click properties. Need to click on this boot, then select the Pxe Boot Policy. If you want to require the user to press F12 key to continue the Pxe boot or always continue Pxe boot, I'm selecting this require user to press F12 key to continue the Pxe boot. Unknown clients require the user to press F12 key to continue the Pxe boot. You can select if you want never continue to be Pxe Boot. So default boot image, we are selecting a 64-bit architecture. The boot image location we need to define. So here it is asking for the default boot image. So we have a x64 architecture system. So select the boot image from here, and x64 UEFI architecture, also select the same boot image. Then client, if you want to join to the domain, you can join, or do not join the client to a domain after the installation. Click this option, then click apply. OK. So next we need to test whether the configuration is ready or not. So this is our client computer. We need to switch on this and try to boot from the PXE. So if you are pressing enter, it will boot from the network. So I'm clicking enter. So it's loading the file from the WDS server. So it's booted up. So it's asking Windows deployment services. Click next. It's asking the username and password. Type the administrator password and username. So it's asking to select the operating system. Click next. Click new, apply. OK. Click next. So rest everything is same as like a normal Windows installation. So you can continue to install this and you can use. If you have a multiple client to install at the same time, you can use this WDS option. That's all for today. Thank you for watching my video. Please do subscribe for more videos.